There's one line in this that worries me, though, in this particular first segment we're talking about, and that's the very last line I read out to you. The club continues to make great progress with youth on the field and off. That worries me. This video is being brought to you with thanks to Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to browse websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Surfshark allows you to virtually travel the world with just the tap of a finger. As an example, we here in Ireland can Afflix? What is Afflix? We here in Ireland can watch other countries' Netflix libraries, unlock UK services such as BBC iPlayer, and of course that all-important Spanish DAZN account for football. Surfshark keeps you safe and secure by covering up everything that you do online. When your device connects to the internet, all this information is, in a way, blurred out. This is particularly effective when you're out and about on public Wi-Fi, maybe you're in college or at a cafe. It keeps your information safe and secure from hackers. With a Surfshark, just ask Surfshark. Just here, have a Surfshark. Johnny? Mildred, Surfsharks? Surfshark allow you to use unlimited devices on just one subscription, meaning if you so wish, you can grant access to your friends and family. On top of that, Surfshark offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, they refund you. It is that simple. Our sign-up offer gives you a whopping 83% off. That's right, I did say 83% off and 3 months additional free. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now or use the link in the description, putting in the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. Let's start off by speaking about the sales process first. So obviously we found out about this process, or even if there was a sale process, from David Ornstein of The Athletic. Now, I don't really, to my knowledge, know of any other outlet that went with the Liverpool is up for sale angle without referring to The Athletic. So if I've missed out on that, I hold my hands up. But The Athletic are the only ones that I'm aware of that really had that story, the Liverpool Football Club are up for sale. But my big question here is, were we actually up for sale? So let's look what John W. Henry has had to say and we'll go from there. He said, while we formalise the process that has identified potential investors for the club, we remain fully committed to the long-term success of the club. That has been the case since day one in 2010. Our efforts every day have been to continue to be focused on the long-term health and competitiveness of the club. Investment in the club is never for the short term. The approach has been successful over the long haul with patience necessary from time to time. In regard to Liverpool Football Club, our commitment remains stronger than ever. The club continues to make great progress with youth on the field and off. Now, a couple of things to take from this, right? So first and foremost, never any acknowledgement that the football club was actually up for sale. Always being an acknowledgement and always being an admittance from FSG and John W. Henry that if the right type of investment partner or investment opportunity came around, that they'd be up for it. They'd sell a stake in the club if they have a strategic partner that they feel could add value. So again, I'm not hearing any confirmation of what David Ornstein said about the club being put up for sale. There's one line in this that worries me, though, in this particular first segment we're talking about, and that's the very last line I read out to you. The club continues to make great progress with youth on the field and off. That worries me. Because yes, we have some good youthful players. We've brought in some really, really talented kids like Stefan Bajcetic, Harvey Elliott and the like. But what I wanted to hear from John W. Henry was a confirmation that our manager was going to be backed in the summer and was going to be backed in a big way, and that they understood that the midfield needed to rebuild, and they understand that Jurgen Klopp needs to have the tools to do the job to the best of his ability. So I'm going to move on now to the next part of the interview where John W. Henry speaks about investment and investment into the club, investment into the playing side of it. He said, we continue building a Liverpool Football Club in a responsible manner. We've seen many football clubs, including Liverpool previously, go down unsustainable paths. We have and will continue to focus our attention on investing wisely in the transfer market, and we remain incredibly proud of our squad. At the same time, we continue investing in our training facilities, our main stand, and our current Anfield Road stand. These are all physical reflections of our resolve and how very seriously Fenway Sports Group takes its responsibilities for this great club. So that's what John has to say. Here's how I interpret that. So yes, he speaks about sustainability, but sustainability to us fans really means I'm not going to be spending that much money, right? That's how I interpret this. Now I'll move on to how I think we can spend money and what I think John will do with regards to spending money in the summer. But there's something in this that annoys me. So he speaks about the Annie Road end, he speaks about the training complex, he speaks about the main stand, and he speaks about the responsibilities for this great club. But I don't know who he's trying to kid here. Because yes, I can't argue that having the main stand done and the Annie Road end done and Kirby being built is a good thing. But ultimately, it's a good thing for us fans, yes, but it's also a good thing for FSG in the bottom line because they increase the value of the football club. They increase the amount of bums in seats. And the money that is being used to repay this is money that is coming from Liverpool Football Club, not from FSG. They loan the club the money, but ultimately they will get extra bums in seats, meaning the club will be valued more, meaning the next owners, if a new owner comes in, will have a greater cash injection. And it bugs me that people keep lauding them for this because it's common sense. It's a very, very straightforward process. Do the main stand, do the Annie Road end, and the value of the club will go up. The value of your asset will go up, just like building an extension on a house. I'm not going to laud them for that. I'm not going to give them much credit for that, other than they got it done. Fair play, they got it done. It'll benefit fans for getting extra people in the stadium. That much I'll give them credit for. But I don't believe a word about this great club and custodians and all this other nonsense that he comes out with. It is just PR speak and it's just waffle. It's common sense stuff to do if you want to make the club more valuable. And in the end, he will see the benefit of this when FSG sell up. And I've always been okay with that. I just wish that he would stop this narrative about understanding what it's like to be custodians of the club and whatnot. Liverpool Football Club, if you understand anything about it, Mr. Henry, is based on winning trophies. It is based on being competitive. And yes, we had a period where we fell away and now we're back and we need to maintain that we are back and we need to continue to invest to make sure that we stay where we want to be and that your asset continues to be valued as highly as it is. So the last part that I want to bring up is, he said the league itself is extraordinarily successful and is the greatest football competition in the world, but we've thought for some time that there should be limits on spending so that the league doesn't go the way of European leagues where one or two clubs annually have little competition. Excitement depends on competition and is the most important component of the Premier League. So again, I'm not too sure what John W. Henry has looked into with regards to the history of the Premier League, but there has been few winners. It is Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester City, and that's it. Manchester City, sorry, and that's it. They're since 1992. So there is a dominance and there is periods where one or two clubs do rule the roost, but football is cyclical. These things, unlike La Liga, is an example where Barcelona and Real Madrid are the powerhouses now for the foreseeable. The Premier League, there's so much money involved in it that, yes, clubs can be competitive, but he's still not addressing the underlying issue here for me. It's like, look, we understand that we can't be a Man City, a Newcastle, even a Manchester United to some extent. But we do generate a lot of money. And the part I want to tie this all together to today is that in the summer, when we move on Bobby Firmino and James Milner and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Adrian San Miguel and who else is due to run out the contract? Naby Keita. That will free up a lot of money on the books. So when thinking about Liverpool's transfers, try to think about them this way. Not with regards to the transfer fee, not with regards to the wages, but let's use an example. If Liverpool signed Jude Bellingham, and let's say, just for argument's sake, that transfer cost Liverpool £100 million. So that's the transfer fee. We sign Bellingham, and again, go with me on this, on a 6-year contract, and his wages, let's say, for argument's sake, are 200 grand a week. They could be more, they could be less, but let's just go with that number. So if we signed him on a 6-year deal, on 200 grand a week for 100 million, the value of that on Liverpool's balance sheet is 27 million quid a year over the course of that 6-year contract. That's how it's amortized. That's how we need to think of transfers. So basically, Liverpool need to free up some money so that their outgoings are less than their incomings, so that we can free up wages, so we can free up amortization ability on the balance sheet. So that's where we will have the ability to spend money this summer, because we are moving on roughly 600 grand a week off the wage books. And then we have the ability, as I said, to spread off these new signings over 6 years. So if we free up, let's say 100 million a year, which is a lot of money, let's say even 80 million a year, then that gives Liverpool a lot of wiggle room in the transfer market. And that's the way we need to start thinking about transfers from an FSG perspective. It's the cost of the transfer with regards to the fee, the cost of the wages over the length of the transfer, put them together, divided by the years of the deal, and that's it. That's how much it costs the club each season. And once we spend less money than we bring in, we're pretty good, right? We're already at about 63% wage to turnover, which the industry standard they want to get it to is 70% or below. So we're in there. So what I'm saying is, as much as I am very much in disagreement with John W. Henry on a lot of things, I do think that based off the way we operate, there genuinely will be money this summer because of the amount of wages that are freeing up. So that's my take on it. Over to you. Let me know what you think. It's not a revelation. It's not a huge amount of information that the Echo managed to get out of John W. Henry. But the one thing I took from it was that there was never any acknowledgement that the football club was actually up for sale. So then I question, where did that information come from when the Athletic or David Ornstein came out with it? Genuinely would love to know. Maybe you've got an answer for me. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts as always, my friends, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.